So my lovely wife, she burned me quite bad today.
I like it already.
Like full on Michael Kelso screaming at the top of your lungs burn.
Okay.
So she found this thing on Reels or something where you can, the good to grow, the juices with the characters on the top.
Yeah, they're like $800 for the little juices. Yes, I'm familiar.
Well, she's found a thing where you can take the character off the lid and use it to like put a straw through, and then that way a kid, your kid can reuse it and blah 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 blah. But you got to get the little spout part out of there. So she's trying it, and it's not working. So I'm like, all right, well, let me try this. So I got a little hammer, and I was like trying to and she comes over, she goes, what are you doing? I go, well, I'm trying to pound this out, but it's not working. And she goes, well, you know all about that, don't you?
The zing.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm so mad at you right now, but good job.
Yeah, well done. Yep.
But oh well.
Did you at least get it fixed so that the
no
straw works?
No, there's something inside the character head that's preventing the spout to come out. Like you'd have to like literally take it all apart, and I'm like, I'm not messing with that. So
fair enough.
So yeah. So she's like, I'm gonna leave a comment on that video and tell her it doesn't work. I'm like, you do that.
So. Call her stupid on social media.
Yeah.
You're gonna be on the internet. You got to be a jerk.
Yes, and you got to be stupid. Apparently.
That's the perfect intro to watching this piece of garbage. So.
Yeah, exactly. On that note, welcome to Kris and Matt's Wrestling Pod, and hope everyone's had a great week. We are going to preview SummerSlam. We're going to briefly mention the secret, not so secret meeting between Shane McMahon and Tony Khan, and then we're gonna give us full spoiler review of Deadpool and Wolverine, because both Matt and I have seen it and think it's pretty cool. So we want to talk about it for a little bit. So we'll but I'll warn everyone later when we get to that point when we start spoiling stuff. So before we get into all that, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel. I don't know if you've noticed, I've started messing around making shorts.
I did. I saw that. I was on the internet the other day, and I'm like, why is my face popping up on this? And then I watched it, and I was like, oh God, I sound even worse when I'm listening to it back.
So yeah. So that's I'm gonna be trying some more of that and see how that goes. So if you could check those out, that'd be great. Yeah, how are you, Matt? How are you this evening?
I'm doing a lot better. It's you might hear it in my voice. I've been a little sick this week. I rarely take days off of work when I'm sick, and Tuesday I woke up and was just like, well, I woke up late for work is what happened, because I was up sick all the night before, and I was like, finally need to take a day off for sick time.
Yeah.
Feeling a lot better today. And excited to talk about this. And a lot of stuff I'm excited to talk about tonight. I like you said, I saw Deadpool and loved it and can't wait to talk about it.
Awesome. All right. Well, SummerSlam is on Saturday.
It's in Cleveland. It'll be a decent show. Let us know what you think. Okay, I'm with it.
Nah, come on now. I got to give a proper review or proper preview, seeing as I won't be on the Grin this week. More on that later.
They didn't book any travel for you this week, huh?
Nah. I unbooked myself.
Oh.
So gotta take care of the wife, you know. So show her a good time.
That story you told, never mind. On to SummerSlam.
Wow, there's some weird ass. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, well,
this is all the bets you're trying to pull
yeah,
up.
I'm trying, and they've got a bunch of these weird props mixed in, so it's kind of hard to like. Anyways, all right, so let's start off here. The WWE Women's Championship, Nia Jax, the challenger, taking on Bayley, the champion.
Oh, okay. So this is I've not been watching the weekly product.
So I haven't seen SmackDown in like 3 weeks because the last few Fridays have been busy. So
sure. So my gut reaction was like, well, Bayley should win this match, but I actually think not. You want my odds or you want my prediction?
Guess the odds first, and then we'll go into predictions.
Okay, I'm gonna put Nia at plus 200, not the favorite, but getting really good odds that she could win.
Actually, Nia is minus 170.
Okay, so I was close.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for Nia to win here.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley got her moment at WrestleMania. A couple weeks ago, we were talking about Bayley. She's bulletproof. Like,
yeah,
it's not going to hurt her to lose the belt, and she's had it before. So,
yeah, and with the Tiffany with the briefcase and her and Nia having the partnership, you can play off of that for a while. Of every time that Tiffany like kind of thinks about cashing in, Nia like looks back at her like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. I'm not doing anything," type thing. So
yep.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and look, I've been pretty consistent on here, singing Nia's praises this year. I think she's been doing really great stuff since she's came back, but specifically, since the Rumble, I've really enjoyed her stuff. So I would not be upset with that at all. And considering some of the other titles that may or may not change hands, I think this is a pretty good bet for one to be changing here.
Is Naomi's on SmackDown, right?
She is.
Interesting.
Yes.
You're moving Nia up the card a little, getting her a little more of a bump. What if they introduce a female element to the Bloodline Civil War? They could.
So Bayley is a plus 130 just for let's go with the for the United States title, LA Knight against Logan Paul.
LA Knight minus 1,500.
Minus 450.
That's it. See, I can't figure that, because that seems like a no-brainer to me.
It does.
I feel like it's time. If they don't put the belt on him here, you're done with LA Knight.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul is quickly wearing out his welcome with a lot of people. So.
Yes, I would say that. I would say so. Yeah, I agree. LA Knight has to win this. He's got to win this one. For the Intercontinental Championship, Braun Breaker taking on Sami Zayn.
All right. Didn't they just do this match?
They did, and then this is the rematch. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so if he lost the first time, I got to figure Braun's is he the favorite?
He is.
Is he minus 1,500?
Minus 5,000.
Okay, so there we go. See, whatever. There's no rhyme or reason to these odds.
No, it's that's why it's fun.
Like, but to me, like he's just as big of a favorite as LA Knight should be. Like, but whatever. Yeah, it's time. I think we talked about it before Money in the Bank that Sammy dropping the belt wouldn't be the worst thing.
No,
again, he's another bulletproof character,
and it looks like they've got his next thing. He and Jay have started interacting again. So I think they're gonna get that rolling here soon to integrate them into whatever comes next with this bloodline stuff. So, yeah, I think it's time. Let's go with. I want to do those. Okay, let's go with the big match. Sure, why not? CM Punk taking on Drew McIntyre.
I don't have a feel for this. My gut reaction is Drew has to win.
Yeah.
But I don't know how big of a favorite it can be.
Not very.
Yeah, I mean, minus 150 maybe.
Close. 175.
Yeah, this is a toss-up, really. I think Drew needs it more, but if he loses because Seth screws up and costs him the match, well, then we've it protects Drew again, and it gives him more something to bitch about, and it gives him a reason to really hate Seth, and so yeah, it could happen.
Yeah,
I don't like the idea of if Punk wins, he can't win clean. I don't want Punk beating him clean in the ring.
Yeah,
so.
No, I think Drew wins. I think in the SummerSlam '97 scenario, I think Punk is Taker, as opposed to being Brett in this scenario. I think Seth goes. I think Drew antagonizes Seth throughout the match about how he's whether his count thinks his count is slow or something, and he finally does or says something to Seth that pushes Seth over the edge. He tries to hit Drew. Drew moves. He hits Punk. Seth hits Punk, and then Drew gets the victory off of that.
And then that just launches into Seth and Punk?
Yep, you can do that. Yep. So
okay. I feel like there's a lot of legs with Punk and Drew. But this could be a great scenario where you just have the three rotating with each other, and let those three just play off of each other to. You could do that all the way to the Rumble.
Yep, I agree.
That being said, give me what's Punk plus
135.
That's not enough juice. I was gonna say, give me $50 on Phil, but that's not enough return.
No,
it's not enough.
No. Okay, some of these props are pretty funny.
Will John Cena propose to Nikki Bella again?
Not quite that funny. All right. Cody Rhodes. This is probably going to be in the main event. Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Solo Sikoa.
Minus 2,500.
5,000.
Okay.
Solo's plus 1,200. Will Roman Reigns appear in the ring?
No.
Yes or no? No. Okay.
I don't think he will.
All right.
No. Real quick though,
yeah.
Solo at plus 1,200 is interesting because that's we talked about this a couple weeks ago of if you really want to launch Sikoa, if you want to get Solo really up there, you could have him knock off Cody, and then Cody could just get the belt back, right away. I don't think that would happen. But if I could afford to throw $100 at that, 1,200 odds is pretty good.
Yeah. So as far as the Roman thing goes, yes is minus 400, no is plus 250.
Yeah, I like no at plus 250 there.
Yeah, see, I think he's showing up.
No, I think he's showing up, but it says will he appear in the ring?
Right.
I do.
So you don't think he makes it to the ring?
the music could hit and he could just come out to the entrance way and stand there and just stare down Solo.
Could be. Yeah, that's
because technically speaking, even though Solo has kind of usurped him, see what I did there? Usurped him and taken over. We don't know that there's any like bad blood yet. Like Solo hasn't disrespected the tribal chief in front of the world yet. So
I mean,
maybe Roman just shows it.
Pretty much said Roman was a bitch and couldn't get it done. So
sure, that's fine, but I don't know that anything has happened that would lead to physical conflict on the first appearance back, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Right. How many Crossroads by Cody Rhodes? Over 2.5 is minus 175. Under 2.5 is plus 135.
Oh, I'm taking the over. Give me the over. 2.5. Yeah, he's hitting at least 5 of those things.
Yeah. Will Cody bleed? No is minus 200. Yes is plus 150. So.
Yeah, I would say yes. I'd take yes on that.
Yeah, why not? Okay, so I saved the two Raw title matches for last to talk about them back to back. For the World Heavyweight Championship, we have Gunther taking on Damian Priest.
Okay. Is Gunther the favorite?
He is.
Minus 1,000.
Minus 500.
Okay.
I don't think it is a slam dunk that Gunther is winning this match.
What is Priest favored at? Or what is his?
Plus 300.
Okay. Go ahead with your reasoning.
Because I don't think Rhea's winning either. So I don't know if they want to, like, take everything away from the quote-unquote good guys in Judgment Day yet. And I just feel the way that they've built this story. Now, granted, the guy booking it is the king of spending an entire feud tearing down a guy and then beating him anyway. So I guess, but the way they've built this, and I just feel like had he beaten Seth clean at Money in the Bank without any of the Money in the Bank shenanigans, I would have been more apt to think, yeah, they're just going to put it on Gunther. But I don't know. Something tells me that they're finally going to give Priest the win that he needs, and then he'll lose it, at Bash at Berlin or something. The other thing is, like, I don't know, like, Gunther had the Intercontinental title for 667 days or whatever it was. Lost that. Was gone for a few weeks. Came back, won the King of the Ring tournament, and then pissed off for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to win the world title and then hold it for however, I don't know. Something tells me, I think Gunther can lose this match and still be fine. Yeah, I'm not as convinced that Gunther's walking out of this as I was, I don't know, a month ago.
I don't know. I feel like you're just kind of talking yourself into believing something to me it makes too much sense for Gunther to walk out with the belt. If you were gonna give Priest the big win that he needed, I don't think Gunther's the guy you can do that against, because beating him was really big until Sami Zayn just did it like at WrestleMania. It's not going to kill him, but I feel like Gunther has been kind of on this path for over. I think it started last year at the Rumble, not the one in January this year,
Yeah.
but when it was him and Cody. Like people started to push like, okay, when's this guy going to be in the main event? Like when's this guy going to be world champion? And they drug out the IC title thing. I feel like him coming in and winning the belt is the move right here. Because I feel like the Judgment Day story is about to be more important than the title. The story is going to be more important for Priest than the title is right now. And it would just be a good way to get him into some more anger within the group and build more tension. And then Gunther can go start setting his run as the wrestling world champion.
Sure. The other thing is like, if you look, so like the last few months, especially of his Intercontinental title reign, he was getting very Gunther, that is, was getting very. He's getting very cocky, basically, and he was toying and not taking guys seriously. And he was better. He was better, that much better than the Miz. He's that much better than Gable. But then he ran up against Sammy, and he wasn't that much better than Sammy, and he ended up losing. So I think if you have him, and the whole thing is he hasn't taken Priest seriously. He told Priest, like this, he told him a couple times, like, just hand me the belt now, save yourself the embarrassment, and so I think he's super duper overconfident, and so if you have him lose here, and then he kicks it in high gear and just starts murdering people again, I think that's the way to go too.
Maybe I kind of envision his title run as like he gets the belt and beats a couple really good. Like I think he beats Priest. I think it was last week you and I talked about maybe they do him and McIntyre at Bash in Berlin. He could beat Drew. With the idea being whomever he wrestles at Mania is like boss level guy, like a Seth Rollins. It's a top tier elite. Like, okay, yeah, you did your thing with the IC title, and you've had a nice little run as champion. But don't forget, like, you haven't hit my level yet. Let's see if you can actually prove how great you are against an all time whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing about his Intercontinental title reign is he wasn't really defending the title against the main event type guys because it technically is a secondary title.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm ready for Gunther to have the belt. I'm not going to be talked out of it not happening. If it doesn't happen, I'll actually probably be pretty upset about it.
The only other thing too, the last thing about this, and then we can move on, because what I'm about to say ties into the last match we have to talk about, is like, I don't think it's clear that they're wanting to make Priest a babyface. I think if he just goes and loses to Gunther, that's going to be kind of, you're not going to be able to get the sympathy from him that you need going forward in this Judgment Day thing. I think if he win and if he loses, it should come like Finn and JD and Carlito or whoever should probably be there to like either accidentally or on purpose cost him the belt. And I don't like doing that if what I think happens is gonna, what I think is gonna happen happens in the Liv Rhea match. I don't like both of those things happening on the same show.
Yeah, okay, so I guess we can just move into the main event because I don't want to speak for you. I think we're both of the assumption Dom is going to cost Rhea the match.
Yes.
Right. And he's gonna side with Liv, and Liv is gonna then be able to say, "I took everything from you."
Mm-hmm.
If part of that is also the Judgment Day has been so dysfunctional, dealing with all of this inner turmoil for the last few weeks, and it got everyone's eyes off the prize of making sure that Damian keeps the belt too. That's how you get your sympathy for him, because he's been trying to hold this all together.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
but he got backstabbed by someone who they thought was a friend of theirs. If Finn and JD and Carlito we're not sure whose side they're on in all of this. Was it really an accident that they cost Priest the belt? Or is something else afoot here? Because we both agree that Priest and Rhea are about to be baby faces. Rhea's about to be the biggest female baby face on the roster. That's how you get your sympathy, is like they turned their backs on him, and he was trying to keep them all together. He was trying to be the good guy, and it didn't work. They got, poisoned, so to speak.
Sure. I guess they could also do, this just came to me, they could kind of do the WrestleMania 15 where, like, I don't know. That might not work. Where, like, so what if Dom helps, how would this work to make sense? What if Dom helps Priest beat Gunther? And then, so everyone thinks, okay, Judgment Day is all together. But then comes out and then screws Rhea over and helps, like, you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
With the,
I think we're also assuming that the men's match is going to go on before the women's match. What if Dom screws Rhea earlier in the night,
mm-hmm.
and then later in the night when Judgment Day is trying to help Priest beat Gunther, Dom and Liv show up and mess things up a second time. There's a possibility there too.
Sure. Liv is -600. Rhea is +350.
I'm.
Yeah. And
is it to win the title? Or is it to win the match? Because Rhea could win by like disqualification.
Sure. Yeah, true. It doesn't specify. So, good point.
Throw a little Andrew Jackson down on that one.
Yeah. Dominic interferes in Rhea's match. First used weapon. I was just running through all these. Chair is +250. Belt is +300. Fist is +300. A kick is +400. Brass knuckles +700. A table +1,000. The referee +1,200. And Mr. Fuji Salt is +3,300. That popped me. That popped me. Yeah. So yeah, that was SummerSlam. So I'm looking forward to the show. I've been spoiled by the. I guess Money in the Bank was 7 p.m. Eastern as well, but I'm ready for go back to these afternoon gimmicks here
Give me
next
the 2
month.
o'clock kickoff.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm not gonna see the show live, and I'm not gonna be able to sit down and watch it till Sunday night. So
yeah, I'm gonna watch as much as I can live, but I'll probably end up having to tap out and finishing it sometime Sunday or something. But
yeah, you wimp. We've got a wedding, and then the next morning we're taking the kids to see the last Harry Potter movie. We've been doing this every month. We've been going to see it on the big screen. So the last one is Sunday at 12:45. So it's like, perfect. I'm not going to be able to get home from Harry Potter, but I got a frozen Lou Malnati's deep dish waiting for me.
There you go.
Been saving that since I came back from Chicago. So
nice.
Gonna eat some deep dish and watch Chicago-made Punk get his head bashed in, apparently.
Did you see the video Drew posted today?
No.
It was him working out, but in the background was the I always mess up the name. The AFI song that Punk used in Ring of Honor.
Oh, he did that video a while ago.
Oh, did he?
Or was it I'm almost certain he did it before with This Fire Burns.
Oh, maybe. But yeah.
it's almost like a greenish background, right? And he's doing like an arm curl.
No, this is like this is like him, like he's doing some. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something with heavy weights.
Maybe he made another one.
Yeah, I think he made.
I swear there was one where he was listening to Fireburns and whatever.
Nice. Real quickly, we don't want to spend a bunch of time on this. Shane McMahon, I guess. Well, not allegedly. There's a picture. Shane McMahon met with Tony Khan earlier this week.
Yeah. You know how, like, when an athlete really wants to get that big contract and they're like, oh, you're not going to pay me? All right, I'm going to go see if the Milwaukee Bucks are going to throw $1 billion at me. This was Shane, like, listen, if you're not going to bring me in, I will end up on AEW. And WWE is going to give him something to get him involved again. I think this was all just – I think Tony Khan just got used as like a pawn.
I don't – maybe. But then again I don't know.
What is Shane McMahon going to bring to the table that's going to help AEW? Answer me that. Based on what we saw from him, every time he's had any sort of position of power in WWE, and you think to how things went at those times, just give me an answer to that.
Oh, I don't have an answer because it's non-existent. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he is using them I think his two of his best friends are in the company. You know, I think it's
he misses playing mock with them.
Yes, exactly.
He wants to go play with his friends.
Exactly. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't think anything's really going to happen with it, but
yeah, people got really excited, and I was like,
well,
did everyone forget how much everyone hated Shane McMahon like before he went away this last time?
Some people were getting excited. Most people I saw on both sides, excuse me, were just like not happy. So
I was listening to Busted Open After Dark on my way into work this morning, and they were taking calls, and people were like, no, they should give him the book and blah, blah, blah. One guy was like, Tony Khan should bring him in and give him Ring of Honor. And he's like, oh, Bully's like, to run it? And he's like, no, give him the company as a token of his appreciation. It was like, where do you people come from?
Yeah.
He's just going to give you a company. Like, what?
Old Bully got the official statement from Shane.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Who has a licensing agreement with WWE and was just at like their Hall of Fame?
Bully Ray.
Yeah, Bully Ray. Yeah, Bully Ray. Noted journalist Bully Ray is getting the exclusive comments from Shane McMahon.
All I'm saying,
because Shane McMahon isn't playing a game to try to get rehired in WWE.
All I'm saying, Shane and the Mean Street Posse versus the Conglomeration. Let's go.
You know, the Mean Street Posse versus like the Guns would actually be pretty funny,
right? No, like that's why I said because you got Mark Briscoe, you've got Orange Cassidy, you've got Kyle O'Reilly, and you've got Ishii right now. Like,
right.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, if they brought him in and he was an on-screen character, I'm sure it could work. A lot of people were like, he could be the financier of the Bucks, and like, yeah, that could work. But yeah, I'm not. It wouldn't make me be like, I gotta watch this every week. I'd watch his debut and then go, that's enough McMahon on my screen. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Coming soon to Arthur Ashe.
Yep.
All right, we are now going to talk about the movie Deadpool and Wolverine. If you have not seen,
should we do our quick Lions stuff before that?
Go ahead.
That way.
Yeah.
The end of the show is just the Deadpool talk.
That's fine.
Training camp opened up. It sounds like J-Mo looks like $1 million. They were saying Kevin Zeitler was saying today that the Levi, I can never pronounce it. Oruzan,
Yeah.
the defensive tackle. He said, I don't know if you called this comment. He said after practice today that this team's going to have two $20 million defensive tackles real soon. And everyone was like Aleem McNeil and DJ Reader. And he's like, no, Aleem and Levi. Like, let's go.
Nice. What did you think? I was a little surprised that they re-upped with Decker. What did you think about
that? I don't like it in the sense of a 31-year-old left tackle getting another. What, he got 2 years or 3 years?
I don't remember if it was 2 or 3.
I feel like it was a 2-year extension, so he's going to be here for the next 3 seasons. It is what I think it is.
Yeah.
3. I mean, he's had some injury problems. He's obviously not as great as he used to be, but the offensive line is the strength of the team, and there's no guarantee you're going to find a guy as good as him for that amount of money if you decide to let him walk. So I'm okay with the move for now. And then, it gives them a couple of years to draft and stash somebody if they want to. Even if that person is better suited as a right tackle, obviously Panay can make the switch over.
That was my thing. Is like they're paying Panay left tackle money. So I just but
for those pregame speeches, you pay him whatever he wants.
True. I agree. So I don't know. It's just
the other thing too, and to steal a phrase from, I know some people are worried about the money because it's like, well, you've got a lot of people you're going to have to pay and you're handing out contracts. Valeni, to steal a phrase from him, like the salary cap isn't real. It goes up so much money every year now because they're making so much money as a league. Like, and you're able to restructure deals, and unless you just make really bad long-term deals, you can keep most of your core intact, at least for the next 4 or 5 years. So I don't hate it from a financial standpoint. And he's a leader on the team. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
that's fine. Have you been seeing they've been releasing the top 10 at each position, the Madden ratings?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you see where they had Laporta?
He's like, isn't he like 10 or 11?
He's the 7th.
He was way down there. Like, he's only like an 83 overall or something, right?
Yeah, he's like the 7th rated tight end.
Whatever. That's fine. More fuel for the fire. Like, just keep sleeping on our guys. And it's just Madden, right?
Sure.
Sam Laporta probably doesn't really give a shit about the Madden ratings, but it is something to keep in the back of your mind of, like, because you see the Madden's rating, he sees the Madden ratings guy on the sidelines before a game, and it fires him up. Maybe maybe it's just keep sleeping on our guys. That's fine.
Yep. So yeah,
it did suck to see Kaminsky go down. He's done for the year essentially.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing. Is just keep staying healthy. Just everyone get through camp healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Week from tonight is the first preseason game, so I think we're 5 Sundays away.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Let's go.
All right. Now we will be spoiling the movie Deadpool Wolverine. So if you have not seen it, we'll see you next week. Catch us on not this week, not this Friday, the following Friday. Catch us, both of us, on the Late Night Grin, as we will be doing a SummerSlam draft. If you're like, what's a SummerSlam draft? Go in the archives here on the channel. Search for WrestleMania draft and Starrcade draft, and you'll see Matt and I did drafts. It's a concept I came up with a few years ago that Matt and I did, the two of us, on our old podcast that I tweaked and adapted and brought some other people in, and we did it here a couple times. I've done it on, not on an actual episode of Late Night Grid, but on their channel. We did Halloween Havoc last October. Yeah, next week we'll be doing the SummerSlam version. It sounds like there's going to be quite a few of us, so it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be
really,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I thought we were just doing it on our channel. I didn't even realize it was for that.
Yeah, no. We're done.
You just keep me in the dark on everything. That's fine.
I know. I told you.
You did tell me. I didn't know all the deets.
Yeah. So I told you I was going to get you booked.
Yeah, thanks, brother.
You got it.
Your trans is on me. All right. I'll pick up the waffle his house.
You're my beefcake.
Oh no! What have I done?
But all right. So yeah, check us out there. Until next week, see ya. Unless you want to hear us talk about Deadpool Wolverine. All right, let's get into it. I went Friday. You went Saturday. All right. Just right off the bat, like that's the greatest opening credit sequence of all time. He's digs up the corpse of Logan, and is at the same time being pursued by agents from the TVA. And he decides that he's going to use the adamantium skeleton of the deceased Logan to fend all these TVA agents away while he dances to Bye by NSYNC. Include doing
and not dances like just Deadpool dances. Does the full on the stuff, yeah, like nails it, and like, oh, that scene is so beautiful. The Deadpool movies are awesome for the creative ways that they kill people, but that scene, like you said, the skeleton, and then mixing it in with the music, and the little shot about Canada that one of the guards made, and he like freaked. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I even love before they even got started. Before that, the fight even started, where it was like he was like, there are 271 bones in the human body, 272 if I'm watching Gossip Girl.
Right.
Which, like, in the theater, like, it just that, like, it was like, he made a boner joke, but then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, his wife was on Gossip Girl.
Yeah, I looked at Holly right away, and she's like, what? I was like, Blake Lively, and she goes, you know how Holly belly laughs. She belly laughed in the theater.
And then from there, we're just off to the races. Like, it was, like the people were the complaints I've seen were like, well, there was no story. I'm like, you don't go to a movie like that for like the story. Like, come on, man. It was a fun 2-hour romp, cameo fest. Like it was.
Deadpool describes it perfectly in the movie, where he's like, it's a downtime in the MCU. Like, if you're worried about the story in the MCU right now, you clearly like stopped watching after Endgame,
right?
Because the last couple of years, the stories have been really hard to sit through. So that's not a valid argument. The argument I did see some people make, like getting in the weeds about how the MCU, the universe actually works and stuff. They're like, oh, they're just kind of writing in ways, blah blah blah. They're just making it up. It's like, yeah, they kind of are, but it's a fantasy world. You can just make it up as you go. That's why it's fantasy. Like, we're literally talking about multiple universes existing, and people can travel through portals, and you're caught up on, well, in the technical blah 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 blah. Like, okay, guys, like, relax. Just be happy. It's okay to be happy sometimes.
Yeah, and I liked, and like. So, like, the first 2 X-Men movies, I remember as a kid, I really liked them. I even kind of liked the first Fantastic Four movie. The second one was awful. But I say that to say, like, when you get to the end and like the credits, like this was a love letter and a send off to those 20th Century Fox movies.
Right.
All of them. And I thought that was really cool. Like,
right.
I was totally, I was totally cool with that. Because you could tell, like you could tell it meant a lot. It meant a lot to Ryan. It meant a lot to all those guys. Like Channing,
and girls.
Yes, and girls. You're right. Sorry. Like Channing Tatum, I don't know if you saw his post, but he was like, "Oh man, I owe such a debt of gratitude to Ryan Reynolds," and but like he was like, you could tell he really wanted to get that Gambit movie going, and it never happened.
One of the interviews that and it's like, I don't know if it was actually him that said it, so it was in something a social media post that I saw, that he was like, he basically said, like, after that Gambit movie fell apart, like, he couldn't bring himself to watch the MCU. Like, he couldn't watch it because he wanted to be part of it so bad.
Yeah.
And this gave him that opportunity, and like, he got to play the role, even though he didn't get to play it the way he wanted to. He got to play the role, and like, it was like everything that guy does. It was pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, like I think one of the first things I said when we walked out of the theater to our group that I was with, I was like, I'm really upset we never got that Channing Tatum Gambit movie now. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Well, in this era, like, who's to say?
Right.
At this point, people were really receptive to it.
So the biggest pop from me was the double reveal of Chris Evans.
Oh, okay.
So they Deadpool Wolverine
land in the void,
and they happen upon they're getting chased by the bad guys or whatever, and you hear a voice, and I'm like, I know that voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a man on top of a tower, and he slides down, and it's like, holy shit, it's Chris Evans. And like the way he's like there, you could tell he's wearing like a blue, and then he's got some like wraps on his forearms, and so it kind of looks like there's red there too. I'm like, oh my god, they brought Captain America back for this. This is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then he's like, something like, I gotta say 2 words or whatever. And like Deadpool, being the proxy for the audience, is thinking that he's going to say Avengers Assemble, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he says,
because Deadpool's on this mission to join the Avengers,
yes,
and wants it to rescue his world.
Yes. And when he says flame on instead, oh my god, like big pop out of me. And he was such a masshole.
Yep.
In the movie, like he went full. He's like, I don't gotta hide my accent. Cool. It was fantastic. Right up until he got killed. Like the way he got killed off too was just. I'm like, this is great.
Perfect.
This is awesome.
I texted you. I didn't think it was Captain. Like once I saw the wrap, I was like, oh, that's because when they land in the void, you can see the shield. His shield is in the sand, and I was like, oh, that's a Captain. I'm like, oh, this must be their replicate. This is supposed to be where the final battle happened in Endgame. Wherever the void is, is that how you interpreted it?
No, I just interpreted that's where everything kind of gets dumped.
Yeah, and I sorry, I just cut you off. Go ahead.
No. It's where. Did you watch Loki?
No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. Not a like again. I think especially like this movie, they went through. There was a lot of exposition explaining to people things that they needed to know in case that they didn't watch Loki. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal if you didn't watch it, but yeah. the void is basically where, so in Loki, the TVA, they would, if you were a variant, an unauthorized variant, they would do something called pruning, where they would basically poke you with this light stick, and you would evaporate, and then that's where you would go is the void.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
And that's
see that.
Yeah.
I'm one of those that didn't watch for a while.
So. But yeah. So yeah. No. Again, once I realized that, oh, this is a big send off for 20th century, and I guess the big 20th century Fox sign in the middle of the void probably should have been a dead giveaway too, but I don't know why. I just didn't. I guess part of me was just I guess I just didn't really think that Chris Evans would be into returning to that role in any way, but apparently he was. I guess he was all for it.
He was so excited to play that role again.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it didn't click with me until the other big cameos, when Blade and Elektra and Gambit all walked in. That's when I was like, oh, Holly even looked over and she goes, it's all the old movies. And I'm like, yeah, it's all the old stuff that got made in the 90s and early 2000s that just got ignored by the MCU.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because they had to ignore it until they bought it.
You're right.
Right.
Right. But to someone like my wife, she doesn't know all that. She's just like, oh, they just never brought those characters around. That's really weird. Blah blah blah. That scene was great too, because the line where they mentioned Deadpool or they mentioned Daredevil, and then Deadpool goes, "Ooh, sorry about that." Yeah. Elektra, she goes, "Hey, don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Why is Ben Affleck catching strays?
Well.
Yeah. So that was your biggest pop, was the Evans when Deadpool and Wolverine go to kill all the Deadpools, and they turn the corner, and Like a Prayer is playing, and they're getting ready, and then he's Wolverine stops and he put the mask on. I audibly in the theater was like, holy shit, that got me. I don't know why, because I'm not an X-Men guy. We talked about it when you were asking me about X-Men 97. It was just something I never got into. But even I was like, that is so fucking cool. They nailed that part. That part made the movie. I was loving it, but that's going to be an iconic. I'm always going to remember that scene.
Yeah. Have you heard the story about how they convinced Madonna to let them use Like a Prayer in the movie?
I started watching it, and then I didn't finish the clip.
Yeah, so it's funny. It's very similar to School of Rock trying to convince Led Zeppelin to let them use Immigrant Song. But yeah, they kept reaching out, and they're like, yeah, Madonna does not license that song out. And so finally, he finally got her to at least take a meeting, and they had to show a rough cut of the scene,
what it would sound
of what it would look like, how they wanted to use it and stuff. And I guess she even had some well, if you some musical hey, if you move this section here and blah blah blah, blah really enhance the scene.
Help them.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
What's funny is, going into the movie, they showed a trailer for some superhero thing, and I don't even remember what the trailer was. But it had a catchy song from the 70s, and I'm in my head, I'm like, man, Guardians in the Galaxy ruined these movies, because everyone thinks they've got to have this incredible soundtrack.
It's not just comic book movies.
It's everything.
It's everything. Every trailer for every movie has some sort of popular song that they've remixed into with a bunch of strings and orchestra and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I was just like, I'm so sick of these movies using like their soundtrack to make them seem like they're original and unique. And then the soundtrack in Deadpool is outstanding. Yeah. Like it was so good.
It was
start to finish. Like I was just like every time they would weave in a new song, I'm like, this is so good. When like this is that feeling
when they're in the van driving to find the resistance, and the Avril Lavigne song starts playing.
Yep.
Oh God!
And like it was just that was such a fun movie. That's like I don't know. It made me feel nostalgic about going to the movies because the theater was almost full.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing not the only thing, but like one of the big drawbacks of these theaters putting in all the reclining seats and stuff is you don't get as many people in for a showing, and nothing beat that feeling of you're watching it with like 150 people and everyone's laughing at the gags. Well, like that's such a.
We saw it in IMAX, so that was like, and they don't have the recliners in the IMAX theater in Ipsy, so yeah, there was that place that was packed. That was packed full.
And even here in Adrian though, like it was almost full, but just seeing it with people having fun, sitting next to a stranger, which I hate, but both of us laughing at some of the inappropriate jokes, or like us each catching a gag that maybe not everyone else got. It was just like, man, I miss this feeling of like sitting in a packed theater, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
If you came out of that movie like mad, it's we talk about it all the time. It's just some people want to hate everything, and I'm guilty of doing it quite a bit, but that was just a fun time. I want to see it again.
Yeah. So obviously, you mentioned the army of Deadpools. Obviously, Lady Pool was Blake. Kid Pool was one of their daughters. Baby Pool was their youngest.
Was there? Cowboy Pool was Matthew McConaughey.
Yep. I can't remember. There was a bunch of them. Like, oh, that's not, obviously everyone's talking about the soccer player from Wrexham. That was Welsh Pool.
Yeah. Mac from It's Always Sunny was in there at some point too.
Oh, okay.
He was a cameo. There was one other really big name that was one of the Deadpools, but I don't remember who it was now.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of hoping they would have done something where Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds had like an on-screen interaction, but oh well. Didn't get that. Yeah, I know the cameo was out there, but I
yeah, let me see here. Let me see.
I'm blanking on it
real quick. Wolverine. Oh, all the Wolverine variants. Too. Was a great montage where he's trying to find the right one. The comic book accurate one.
Yep.
That one was good. The Henry Cavill one.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't realize who that was at first.
Yeah.
Holly had to tell me who it was, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So Nathan Fillion was Headpool. Yes, Matthew McConaughey. That's all the one. Okay, never mind. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Just because when I see his name now, I think of if you watch Big Mouth, that animated show on Netflix. His name gets thrown out there a lot in that show. So now whenever I see his name, I'm like, okay, I know who that is.
Right. So yeah, it was a fun time at the movies. So all right.
Did you get a special edition popcorn bucket?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
All right. Cool. Let's get out of here.
Good.
All right. thank you everyone for watching. We'll probably be back next week. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if I want to talk to you 2 nights in a row, but we'll see. Well, actually, it'll be 3 days in a row because then you'll be coming to Kingston's birthday party too. So there'll be a lot of you. I don't know if I can handle that, but
that's an awful lot of that's too much interaction in person.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe
we'll figure something out.
We'll yeah. Maybe we'll be here. Maybe we won't. But we will be on Late Night Grin on Friday night the 9th.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
All right. Fine.
Maybe go F yourself.
Okay. For the SummerSlam draft. Can't wait. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah. I've already started working on my spreadsheet. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I do have the master list is completed. If you would like that, I can send it to you.
No. I'm doing my own draft prep.
Okay.
Sir.
All right.
Where I'm categorizing my matches.
That's cool. I just that's fine.
I always finish in last place in these things, so it's not gonna matter. So.
Right. Same with me. So I'm just going to have a good time. Yep. I'm drafting on vibes only. So
you're gonna end up with a too cool 6-man tag match.
Yeah,
it's your semi-main.
Yep. Not even yeah. Didn't even not even rated on Cage Match, but yep, that's I'm gonna pick that. Yes.
Oh.
So, all right, be a good time. But all right, everyone, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, see ya.